So there was another NHL streamer named OGKevinBacon who raised a good point the other day on Twitter, and I will link to the tweet down below in the nice video description here. And this is something I wanted to talk about. It is in terms of EA and how they should be marketing their game kind of right now in regards of eSports and tournaments like this. Listen, I know they have a big kind of stake in everything with the Gaming World Championships. The only issue I have with the Gaming World Championships is how they use HUT. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I know I say a little bit of jabs, and I take jabs at HUT all the time. But objectively, if you look at it, the appeal of it is a great mode. You get to collect hockey cards that you get to use of players in the actual game of past and present. You get to use alumni with current superstars. You can play Gretzky and Lemieux with Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid. It's incredible. But the problem therein lies when you're doing 1v1s on a national scale tournament. When you watch a hockey game, what are you watching? You're watching technically 6v6. 5 skaters and a goalie against 5 other skaters and a goalie. So you have potentially 12 top players playing against each other. Why aren't you marketing that? Why aren't you showing off that? There was a clip the other day of someone stopping an empty net goal only to throw it back up and score to tie the game. Could you imagine if that is in an arena? Imagine that's at Scotiabank Arena, the Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden, the United Center, the Bell Center. Imagine when it's appropriate, we have fans in attendance and we can watch that as finals. Imagine the chat, dude. Imagine people blowing up like, whoa, what was this moment? Imagine that. Imagine the potential of watching 12 of the sports, the eSports, NHL scene's best playing against each other. That is something I would watch 100%. I would pay money to watch that. I would pay money to watch that in person. I would sub to watch that. I want to compare this to Rocket League. Look at Rocket League's RLCS and the traffic that brings, and the level of competition RLCS has. There are a bunch of solid teams in there. There is a bunch of solid players that you just know. You recognize them by name. We need to get to the point where we can do that, man. And I feel that if it's 6-on-6, if we show off 6v6 as a full-fledged tournament, world championships, imagine how many clubs will sign up. Imagine how many players will practice. Imagine how many people will just show up to play. Imagine getting a chance to compete on national television with your best friends against the best in the world, dude. Imagine getting to show off your talent as not only an individual, but as a team in front of potentially millions. That, to me, is more enticing than watching 1v1 with real hockey, with hockey players, man. I don't get that same satisfaction of watching one person play one another to determine who the best is. Hockey's a team sport. It is a team sport, and you get team-driven results. So I don't know why, with the already talented players who play out there religiously for league gaming for smaller independent NHL leagues, I don't know why we're not focusing a spotlight on this and why we're focusing a spotlight on a different mode. I mean, you can try and change my mind and try and sell me on it, but I don't get it. I get it that that's the mode that makes money, and we're not going to touch on that. We're not going to go into why mode versus mode thing in regards to features, benefits, and whatever makes EA money. We're not going to touch on that, but I just want to touch on why, when hockey itself is a team-driven sport, that we're not showcasing that the video game that you can get your friends and deliver the same kind of action and excitement as a potentially real hockey game, and you could pick up and practice and play and one day get to that level. I don't understand why we're not doing it, and I think that EA needs to start promoting that as well, because at the end of the day, the more players playing, the more money it's going to generate in terms of sales and in terms of user engagement and in terms of people just playing and competing to be better than one another. You're going to have healthy competition. You're going to have people playing against the best, learning, and all in all, you're just going to have a generally more exciting product to broadcast. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it, and I think we need to start shining light more on 6v6. So yeah, let me know what you think about it. Honestly, I'm curious to hear, but I just feel it's easy peasy, man. I don't know why we're not doing it, and I really think we should. So yeah, start focusing more on 6v6, guys, because you'll have me there.